what we will be doing today, we'll be looking at the SolidWorks electrical harness design capabilities. So we'll create a harness in there, then we will do the routing of the harness. We'll see how the length of the harness gets calculated, and we will create some harness drawings for manufacturer. So we'll see how, I'll show you guys how it all works together. But before we get into demo, I'll do a quick introduction of SolidWorks Electrical. So in today's webinar, we'll be looking at SolidWorks Electrical Introduction, and then we'll do the demo of where we will create a harness in SolidWorks Electrical. At the end, we'll look at some packages, what packages are available, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. But if you guys have any question, let me know. Okay, SolidWorks Electrical, what is it in SolidWorks portfolio? SolidWorks has been renowned and famous and known worldwide for its mechanical design mainly and simulation. But electrical being a recent addition to SolidWorks portfolio. Basically the software itself is not new. They bought it off from their partner, gold partner, Trace, and it's now rebased, and all the R&D and development gets done by SolidWorks now. So, okay, what is SolidWorks Electrical? Quick one. SolidWorks Electrical is a software or application for electrical system design. So if you're thinking about creating, let's just say, an electrical system that may include pumps, circuit breakers, power supplies, rectifiers, inverters, UPS systems, or machines that have any electrical aspect in its design, then SolidWorks Electrical is the application made for. So from single line diagram to the final multi-line schematic, which includes your electrical schematics, your electrical single line drawing, and then it also includes your hydraulic pneumatic schematics as well, and PNID also covered can be done in SolidWorks Electrical. Wiring and harness design. Okay, so that's another. There's a dedicated module in there or a tool inside SolidWorks Electrical which allows you to create harness drawings in SolidWorks Electrical. So we'll look into very detail later on in the demo how exactly we will create SolidWorks. We will create harness. Okay. The SolidWorks product, what are they? How does it work with the other SolidWorks product? SolidWorks Electrical 2D. There's two products of it, 2D and 3D. SolidWorks Electrical 2D is a standalone software which runs outside SolidWorks. You do not require SolidWorks to run it, and this will allow you to create all your 2D electrical schematic type drawings. Then you've got Electrical 3D, which allows you to create, it runs inside SolidWorks as an add-in and allows you to create, do the routing of the wires and cables, and also place the electrical components on the right location, so just you know that all these components fits well into the enclosure or into your assembly. Okay. So Electrical 2D, just before I go to the next slide, I'll explain at the end as well, and we'll look into it. It comes with a huge library of symbols, and also a third-party manufacturers. So approximately more than 5,000 plus symbols in the library, and about 500,000 parts sitting in there from different manufacturers into the library of SolidWorks Electrical. Okay, so what is the idea of SolidWorks to bring electrical on board? Basically, it's to unify electrical and mechanical design. So far, historically, electrical and mechanical are the two engineering divisions which have a major input into the final design of the product or any project, but their work have been working in a very serial environment, not in a parallel environment. So that's what SolidWorks is trying to do, bring a parallel collaboration between mechanical and electrical. So electrical guys do electrical schematic, multi-line schematics in their own world, and then 3D guys do their own world. So what SolidWorks does, they combine it together and calls it, and that's a SolidWorks electrical world where it all happens in a collaborative manner. and SolidWorks Electrical. And it provides you a real-time integration between 3D model and into your 2D schematics, and we'll look into that as well, how the bidirectional link and everything works. So that's overall that's SolidWorks Electrical, and it provides you a synchronized electromechanical system design tool. Okay, how are we doing harness drawing these days? Let's just get into the harness. That's what our webinar is about, harness designs. So how are we doing those harness drawings these days? I've just got some couple of pictures. There's still a lot of companies out there that do harness drawing, calculate the lengths of the harness manually using those boards, and that's how they create the harness drawings, basically to calculate the length of the cables and the harness and all these things. So how we can do this in SolidWorks Electrical? Let's have a look at it. So SolidWorks solution for electrical harness design is you create a 2D schematic or line diagram in SolidWorks Electrical 2D. Then it integrates and leverages a lot of all that information related to that harness drawing into the 3D, SolidWorks Electrical 3D, which is running inside SolidWorks. Then after that we can create the flatten route and prepare the drawings for the electrical harness from manufactured drawings within SolidWorks without even going onto the shop floor and creating anything manually. So electrical planning and documentation, as you can see, gets done in Electrical 2D. Then you have electrical system design, and then there's a wires and cables and harness routing inside involved in that system design. And then we've got simulation and testing, and then we've got link to manufacturers. So we'll prepare all the manufacturing drawing. So let's open SolidWorks and start our demo. So first thing, click on this project manager. As you can see, this is a standalone project. I'm not running inside SolidWorks, it's running outside SolidWorks. So click on new, and I've created a template for this project. So basically a template contains title blocks and symbols that you'll be using for that particular project. It's more to do with what standard you're working in. For example, if you're in Australia and New Zealand, you'll be working with IEC standard, because as this is the most closely related standard to our Australia and New Zealand standards. And then if you're working for people working in NC environment, which is a North American standard, all the symbols related to North American standards are covered in SolidWorks Electrical as well. People working from with Chinese drawings or drawings from China, they're working. They have their own standard called GB. And that standard is also covered in SolidWorks Electrical. Then we've got on the JIS, which is a Japanese standard, and the rest of them you can see on my screen are created by me, are just the templates that I've modified them and to suit different type of applications. So fire truck. So we'll be creating a harness inside the truck assembly. So let's name it fire truck webinar. And every time you start a new project, it gives you this project card to fill in. So let's type in some numbers as my contract number. This could be a sales order number, a purchase order number, or a job number, or anything. So customer, I'll just type in webinar this time, and drawing office, INTERCAD, and let's type in Sydney. Okay. So what I've done by filling these properties or details in that project card, it fills all my title blocks automatically from there. So we'll open those one of the title blocks and see what do I mean by that. So if I expand this thing, in that template I've got cover page, drawing, and I've got some empty drawings which I will create, and I've got a 3D assembly of my truck in there. So let's click, first thing, look at the cover page. So that's the truck that we will be working on today, and zoom in, and these are the details that I've just filled in here. For example, webinar, INTERCAD Sydney as my drawing office, and I'm the one who's creating this drawing, and today is 2nd of August, and that's today's date, and we're working on revision 0. So for example, if I'm to change any details on project properties, and let's type in webinar and go AS/NZ INTERCAD Australia. So you notice I've got more details on title blocks gets filled in automatically. INTERCAD Australia, Sydney, and all these details. So that's close, zoom out of this one, and open this drawing list. So what is this drawing? This is a drawing list. It's created automatically for my project. If I just update this drawing, simply go update. I can update drawings, and I can see when I have created this drawing and what revision I'm at, who created those drawings, description, what is the name of these drawings, and the folder description if I have a folder in my drawing. And I can modify, customize these drawing template. Okay, so let's close this one, close that one as well, and let's open a single line, my line environment. So here we will create some harness schematic, and then we will see how it leverages data into SolidWorks electrical 3D. So while this is a blank page, I haven't created anything yet, so let's open the truck in 3D and see. So we will see how the collaboration works. So you can see that it's telling me the first one in red, it means it has been opened, this project has been opened by somebody else, or it's currently in use. I can take it to the right side. It's telling me if it is one connected user at the moment. So it doesn't matter. It's a multi-user environment. I can open that as well, project without any problem. So open that, and that's my truck assembly. And there it is. So you notice on my right hand side, you get to see exactly same documents as electrical 2D in this environment. So at the moment in my location called main electrical closet, or I can rename this location by simply going to the properties and rename this location to chassis. So in that location, I've got no parts at the moment because I haven't created any electrical schematic for it. So which we will, and we'll see how this thing list gets filled in, and so we will be able to insert those parts in my assembly and create the route harness for that truck. Okay, let's go back here. So what I've done, I've created some macros for my schematic. So those macros can be, for example, if you know that you'll be using particular cable between your, let's just say, headlight to the battery, and then you'll be using some particular, like specific components and specific parts, manufactured parts for these for your connectors, then you can create a macro and store it into your library so you don't have to draw it again. So use macros as well, and we'll see at the end, I'll show you how to draw these drawings as well. So first thing, you can see in my macro I've got headlight outside, so let's just drag and drop this one here, as easy as it is. And I've got this drawing that I've created previously for my other truck, for my other project, for example, on my new project right now with full details. So I had allocated a manufacturer part in the past as well when I created this macro. So I can go in symbol properties and see there's a manufacturer part associated to this symbol already, which is it's just a dumb manufacturer or test manufacturer created by me, XYZ, and I've got these connectors in there. Click on this cable joining these two, so I can see there's a cable with 2 cores in it, and click on this one. It tells you where is it connected to, which pin it's connected to on the component. This side, obviously, here, there, and this one is connected to there. Okay. So I'll repeat the same thing for my other parts. So this one for my headlights. This one is for my another headlights. So just drag and drop this one. And then I've got my flasher, which is my indicators, and my hazard lights. And I've got an indicator and the hazard light on the right hand side one. So I've got these drawings. So, but if I was to create this from scratch, how would I? What steps I needed to take to create them? So let's have a look. Click on this line drawing, and simply click on Insert Symbol. Okay. And at the moment, this is the last use symbol that I have used. For example, if this wasn't the last use symbol, I could click on Other Symbol, click on Connectors category, and then just use this one, for example. And remember, these symbols can easily be created. Like if you want to create a new symbol, you can take a picture of a specific connector that you use in your harness drawing all the time and save that as a symbol. So drag and drop it there. Hit OK. Then we will insert some more symbols. For example, this one. drop this one there and drop another one right here, and then simply just draw a cable between two by using the draw cable command. There you go. Okay, and to assign the manufacturer part number, I can simply just right click on it, Symbol Properties, Manufacturer Parts, Search, and again I can choose whichever manufacturer I need to choose. So for example, if I choose this one, connector with 10 pin, simply double select and click, select, hit OK. Now I've got manufacturer part assigned to this one. So with this one I can repeat the same process simply by going assign part, and that's what I want, hit OK. And for example with this one, right click, assign part, and I just use this one. So that's how I create my own little small harness drawings, and then you can save it into the macros. And to choose the right cable for them, I can just double click on that cable, and you can see I've got my connector on the left hand side and I've got my component on the other component on my right hand side, and I haven't got any cable in between. So I can just double click on it and I can choose from different manufacturers that I want. So it's got about 12,000 different manufacturers in the library. You can see I've got 12,821 different cables sitting in the library for me to use, and I can create a new cable straight away without any problem. So let's just choose, for example, if I was to choose manufacturer Prismium and type in reference number MKE, let's go and choose this one. It's got 3 conductors and the size is that one. Hit OK. And you can see I've got my new cable in the library, or in the picture saying it. If I close this one, you can see I've got the cables in there. So that's how you can easily create your drawing. So now I've got all these drawings, separate drawings sitting on my screen. How do I create a harness from there? So I can simply click on my project, and I've got these 3 tools here to view all my cables in the project. For example, this one, I can see all the cables that I have in my project. This is my cable schedule basically, and I can delete W9, which was the recent one that I don't need to use it. So close this one, and with my harness I can see there's no harness at the moment in my project. So I can right click, new harness, and type in truck lights harness and hit OK. Yep, hit OK, close. And what I'll do, I'll just select everything on that drawing right now and then right click on it, add remove harness. So I can add all these parts to my harness, select, and then pick the right harness, which is this one, add to harness, select, and escape this one. If I go back onto my harness tab, now I can say that in my harness drawing I've got multiple cables in that harness now and multiple components. All these components belong to that harness. Okay, so let's go back into my SolidWorks electrical 3D environment and see. So as you can see, initially there were no components listed here. Now I've got whole heaps of components here that I need to put into my truck assembly, all the connectors, and then I'll do a routing of my harness and we'll see how that would work. Okay, so for now what I'll do, I'll just hide this top body so we can easily see the connectors inside and out here. So towards the back, that's my battery, and I've got some connectors here on my battery. Let's zoom in. Okay, so what I'll be doing here, let's have a look at it. I'll just quite easily, I'm just inserting those connectors into my drawing, and because we're working in SolidWorks, it has an access to all the SolidWorks smarts, including smart mates and all these other features of SolidWorks. So what we will do, first thing, let's have a look at it towards my left. Okay, so this will be right click, insert, just take my mouse there, and it automatically Hang on a second. Okay, right click, insert, and just drag and drop, and it automatically snaps into the right place, that connector. Okay, now let's just go into Flasher, right, insert, and this one here, and now I've got these headlights inside and headlights outside. So right click, insert this one here, and insert that one here. So I'll show you, just let me just give you the truck. So now what I'll do, I'll just insert the other components or other connection to these, to the back end of these lights that I've got. So for example, for my blinker left and my, let's do the headlights first. So you know what we're doing. This one is my headlight left outside, insert, and again it automatically snaps into the right place. And drop this one there, and now I'll just go in my flasher, drop this one there, and I'll just go in my blinker, right click, insert, this one right there. So now, and I'll do the same thing to my right hand side. Okay, so let's insert these headlight right outside, insert, headlight right inside. Okay, and then we'll insert some more, just the last two. And if it gets confusing, for example, you may have like 100 parts or connectors in the harness. You can take this box and it will hide already inserted components. So I can only see which ones haven't been inserted yet. Okay, so let's say my flasher and blinker. I go blinker, this one, and my flasher goes here. Okay, now I can simply go back and show my truck body again with no right click and show. Okay, what I'll just do, I'll make it a little transparent so we can see the harness when it will draw the harness. So what I'll do right now, as you can see, all these connection points are there's nothing connected on the screen to these connection points. There's no wire or cable connected to these ones here as well. So let's click on in SolidWorks Electrical Route Harness. Select, and what it's doing right now, it's just it's reading that schematic that we have created in 2D schematic in the SolidWorks Electrical 2D, and it's finding out, okay, for example, connector A is connecting to this connector B, connector C is connecting to D, and it's finding out the shortest path through the chassis to those to both ends of those connectors. Okay. With the sketches. Okay. So here we can see that has created that harness for me, which goes all the way from there to there to the chassis. And if I just zoom in into this location, here we can see that it's connected to all these wires, all these connectors as well. Okay. So now, what if you want to just flatten the route and if we go back into 2D and just leave everything at this stage, go back into the 2D, here we've got access to all sorts of different reports for our harness. So I can click on report under this project tab and then add, and I'll just add all these harness reports that we've got. So, okay. Alright, So here I've got this list of cables, cores inside in the harness. So what it is, you can see I've got cable 1 W1 with white, blue, and shield. These are the numbers and origin and destination of these cables inside core. Click here. This is my bill of material of that harness. List of cables used in that harness. These are the list of cables, and as you can see, because I've done the routing just now, it has calculated the length of these cables that I will be requiring for my harness. So that's a total length, and we'll get a section length as well in 3D. So I'll show you that how this will work. So let's go back in 3D and click on this button called Flatten Route. So if I zoom out and I can show you. So this is our route harness that we've placed inside that truck. Okay, so that's the harness with all these connector points. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just leave everything as it is. Just click on drawing option. I want to click a drawing of that harness. Leave everything as it is. Rotation. Yep, the rest looks good. And hit OK. So this will create a drawing for me, which of that harness, which will be a flattened drawing. So I'll show you, or drawing for the manufacturing purpose with all the section details and section lengths and everything. Okay. But while it's flattening this route, and what I'll do, I'll just quickly show you a couple of other things in this line diagram for the library. So if you want to go into a symbol manager, and we can just want to explore the library that we've got, so I can just click on line diagram symbols, and we've got all sorts of different symbols. We can create a new symbol straight away by creating hitting this new button. We can import our DWG existing symbols as well if you guys have any, or you can just modify this one simply by just selecting this one, copy and paste. You've got a duplicate of this one now, and then you can create any other button. Okay, let's go back to SolidWorks. Okay, yep, it's saying the BOM bill of material template that I'm using does not have a column for the length. So do I want to add it? Yes, I want to add, so I'll just go yes. And if I zoom in, you can see that it has calculated a length of each core inside that cable. For example, that was the cable W3, and the total I need is this much. Okay, and if I just go in here, I can see the cross sections of each core and how much do I need, and where do I need to fold, and all these details with exact length and everything on this drawing. So how do I publish this drawing as a part of my project drawings? Again, simply click on this button called Create Project Drawing. And it has been created. I can open it in 2D or 3D and 2D. That's a drawing that it has created for me to publish as a 2D drawing of my harness. Okay, so simply go back in there and see in my 2D here as well, this drawing appearing on my 2D side thing as well. So zoom out. That's my drawing with full length and all these details and stuff. And it's telling me, because I'm using the same type of cable for all the cables, so that overall I need about 32 meters of that, so 32,640.16 millimeter of that particular part number or that cable. And so that's what's overall length, how much do I need of that type of cable, and individually that's how much I need, and in sections I can see it here as well, that how much I need for each section. So it's all calculated from SolidWorks Electrical 2D and 3D. Okay, now let's simply click on this report button. Actually create a new folder for my reports in here, folder, report, and I can just right click and generate all my reports here. So I can just go all reports, And in that project folder, here all my reports are. For example, the drawing list, that's the drawing list that I've got in here. List of cable strands with origin, destination, bill of material as well, and list of cables with the overall length right there, 6 meter, 6 meter, 6 meter, type of the cable, manufacturer, part number, who's the manufacturer, and all these details. And again, so also produce this report as well, where you can see the total length in inches, because I've got inches and metrics, both reports in there. You can choose which one you want to use. Okay, so that's how it is. Let's quickly just see how we will export the documents out of the SolidWorks electrical package. So let me just close and use this package called import and export. The file formats we get out of this one are basically 3 file formats. I can export them as DWG, all these drawings, or DXF by choosing this one in the following formats, versions of DXF and DWG. Or I can produce a PDF, simply by clicking PDF and export document tree, and I can just put my sample and print. Okay, so this PDF will also come with a let me just show you, nice little index as well, so I can browse all of that stuff by simply, and I can see where's my blinker left. If I just this one, okay, that's my blinker left in my drawing. Someone said, okay, where's your connector for the flasher? I can just go there. There it is. Someone asked me, where's my headlight, outside headlight? So there it is. I can show him exactly what I need to show by browsing. I can browse my drawings by simply going into this menu as well, cover page, line diagram, and the reports. So drawing list, all these reports in here as well. Okay. So go back into my SolidWorks electrical. So that's where it is. Go back. Pretty much we're done with this SolidWorks electrical harness demo. But before we just wrap up, just show you. So what we've seen, how we can create, and some of the packages that comes with for SolidWorks electrical. So go to the next page. SolidWorks electrical 2D is one type. There's 3 licenses that you can get for SolidWorks electrical. SolidWorks electrical 2D, which is a standalone license for electrical 2D drawings only. And then you go, and this will allow you to create all the 2D schematics for electrical system, hydraulic, pneumatics, harness, PLCs, terminal strip drawings. All these things gets generated. You can do it in that environment with a huge symbol library and a huge manufacturer's part library sitting there already. And it also has a real-time interaction with the 3D model in SolidWorks. Then electrical 3D, that's the second type of license. It leverages a lot of information from 2D into 3D, and then it allows you to place all your components from a schematic into the 3D, for example, in your assemblies or enclosure or whichever type of project that you're working on. Hence, it gives you an ability to plan your 3D wires and routes and cable wire routes and harness routes, paths, all prior to you step onto the production floor and then make it there. So again, SolidWorks Electrical Professional is a third type of license which combines both of them under one license. So there's 3 different types of licenses available. So I'll just stop here and ask if there are any questions from this webinar. If you guys, I'll send you an email afterwards as well, which will have all my details, so you can simply just send me an email if you guys don't have any questions right now.